I'm here with Mandy Van Hook, and the YouTube name is Choosing2Lose. Tell us again, how long have you been on as part of the weight loss community on YouTube?
Since June of 2007, so about 3.5 years.
3.5 years, stuck with it long term. And we learned as we were discussing that you even met your husband on YouTube. Tell us about that and how that came about.
Well, I started watching, when I got back into YouTube after my divorce, I started watching a lot of, videos, and there were a few new people, and I saw Chad, and I thought he was just handsome, and it was an instant crush. And I pursued him relentlessly. It was almost embarrassing how much I stalked him online. And I finally got him to agree to meet me, and we met halfway. He's in Kentucky, and I'm in South Carolina. We met halfway in Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
And we had a little weekend vacation at the Biltmore Estate, and it was true love from there.
Wow. Like November, did I actually start meeting people and making friends and really using YouTube to its fullest. Tell us a little bit about that and how it has helped you over the years in your weight loss journey.
Well, I've met a lot of people on YouTube. Some of them I'm still friends with, after all this time. Some of them have, are not in my life anymore, even though they're still on YouTube. Like normal friendships in real life, they cycle in and out. Right. But I always gather, inspiration and motivation from these people, and I always know that they're going to have my back. And even though I could tell from the community from the get-go that there were a lot of people, even though 3 years ago there wasn't as many people in the weight loss community, the people that were there, you could tell had heart. Right. And it wasn't hard to get involved and to learn, about people, and because you watch the videos and you feel like you know them. So it was easy to develop those friendships, even though you might not post or talk to them. Right. It was really easy.
Right. Well, I know there's several YouTubers who I may not even have talked to, but I feel like I know them just because they share their life. They share everything about them. Tell us about that point you were in your weight loss that you decided that this would be a tool that would help.
I was at a very bad point in my marriage at the time with my ex-husband. Both of us had gained quite a bit of weight since we got married, and we weren't married for very long. It was a terrible marriage. And I was at my highest weight ever, and I used online as a way to escape the reality of my marriage. And so it was easy to attach myself to these people online who also shared, the struggle with weight loss. So when I got involved with it, I found people that were entertaining to watch. And I saw that, and I wanted to become someone that other people could watch and be motivated and inspired by. Okay. So I aimed to make my videos so that while I was losing weight, I was also able to provide some form of entertainment or inspiration to other people as well.
I get the feeling from the community that people look to you as a huge support. I feel like you are everybody's #1 cheerleader. Tell us about that and why you think that is.
I try to treat people in the weight loss community as equals. There are different plans and there are different ways to go about losing weight. And as long as somebody is doing it in a way that is helpful to themselves and not harmful, I'm going to give them support. And I'm going to answer every message that is sent to me, every email I try to respond to, and every comment, I try to let people know that, I've been there, I've done that, and I'm here for them if they need me. And somehow I've gotten this image as everybody's best friend, and I don't know how, but I really just try to be there for people and give them the support that I would want to get back from them as well. Yeah.
It's amazing what happens when you are genuine and show some interest in people. It goes a long way in helping other people. So let's go back to the journey here. So it sounds to me like you got married, the marriage was going bad, you both gained some weight, and you were at the highest weight you'd ever been. And how did when you decided to get on YouTube, how did that work for you? How much weight did you lose originally?
Originally, I started out, I had lost about 20 pounds.
Okay.
Then I got my divorce, and I took a little hiatus for a few months, and when I came back, I really started plugging away at it. Okay. And by the time I got to my lowest weight in May of 2009, I had lost 75 pounds.
Wow, very impressive. And what do you think? What was the key to that success? Do you think?
Persistence and not perfection. Not beating myself up anytime I had a huge meal.
Right.
Eating things in moderation, not depriving myself. Treating it as this is how I'm going to live my everyday life. I didn't want to do anything that I couldn't do long term.
Okay. And were you participating in challenges throughout, or were you?
Yes.
Is it just kind of your own thing? So challenges.
I did do some challenges. I hosted some challenges. Just being involved in the community helped with the accountability all around.
Okay. And what do you think makes a successful competition or challenge? How if I wanted to host a challenge, how would I be most successful at it? Do you think?
I found that challenges need to be short in duration. If they're too long, people will lose interest.
Okay.
It helps that there's some sort of motivating prize at the end. You'd be surprised at how small of a prize can be motivating to people.
Just a shout out or something at the end.
Right. Teamwork helps, but it can also be disappointing because you'll find a lot of people drop out of teams and then people feel left out.
Right.
But you just have to give challenges that are realistic, that maybe are specific. Okay. Sometimes if you just leave people to do their own thing and say, lose as much weight as you can in 6 weeks, then it doesn't really help out too much.
Okay. So would you say 4 weeks, 6 weeks? Is there a range there, do you think is best?
In my experience, about 4 weeks is when people stop,
So even participating in a challenge, look for challenges that are about that length. What kind of prizes are, work best, do you think? Cash, or is there T-shirts? What is it that people...
Of course, it's going to depend on the person, whether it's motivating to them. Some people are motivated by money. Some people are motivated by prize packs. Like once I gave away just a fitness prize pack with different little fitness type items in it.
And is that just something you went up and purchased yourself somewhere and offered it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then some people are just happy with having, on the wall, having their picture up there saying, hey, I was the best this week.
Right.
So sometimes it doesn't even have to cost anything at all. So I stopped participating in challenges. I like the wall because it's ongoing. So you can if you need to stop for a while, you can, but you can always pick back up.
Right.
And I like that.
Right. And it was funny because I joined the first time, and I weighed in the first week, maybe even the second week, but the third week, I don't know what happened, or whether I was just not. My heart wasn't in it, and I didn't weigh in, and I got kicked out, and I kind of felt bad, but then it was like a realization, I didn't realize that it was going to be that strict, or can't remember what was going on, but it's actually good when somebody requires you to actually participate, because there's a lot of flakiness out there, I think, and I see it in myself, obviously, and I didn't participate, and it was eye-opening to get kicked out. All right. So right now, tell us about your current weight loss journey. So after you lost about 75 pounds, you just took a hiatus. Did you gain all that back, some of it back?
I did. In the spring when I was at my lowest weight of 2009, I was helping my mother battle cancer. She lost that battle in July of that year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it was the first time in my entire life, my entire 28 years, that I had lived by myself. And it all crept back on. All 75 pounds of it came right back on.
Yeah.
And it didn't help when Chad and I got married and he moved in and we enabled each other. I want to show off my cooking skills to my new husband.
Right.
And he liked the way I cooked, and so I kept cooking all these fattening meals. And then we both gained all of our weight back. And I have no one to blame but me for doing this to myself and for enabling him as well.
Well, it happens to everyone. And anybody who's in our situation, I've lost and gained all back as well. What steps are you taking now, do you think, that might make this more permanent?
I'm trying to develop recipes that are fattening and make them still taste good but have a lot less calories.
Okay.
That's challenging.
Right.
And because there's so many comfort foods that I have that I just want to have on a weekly basis. And I'm trying to change those. Right. And I'm also trying to find new ways to be active, where before it was, either walking or a gym membership. And I wasn't good at sticking with either of those.
Right.
And now they have things like Xbox with Connect,
right.
which we purchased as a Christmas present to ourselves, though we haven't set it up yet. The dance games and the sports games to help us be more active, but also have fun while we're doing it. So it's something that we can continue to do and not just be burnt out because it's so boring.
Exactly. I think that's something I've been trying to strive to do, is find stuff that I enjoy, because if it's a chore, we'll never stick to it. If it's not something that we like, we won't stick to it. Give me some examples of your comfort foods and how some ideas or techniques that you found to maybe make them more healthier.
One of our big things lately has been creamy chicken noodles, which has cream in it and butter and cheese and egg noodles, and all of that is really fattening. So actually today I put in the figures in Livestrong.com, the Daily Plate. I love that site, and changed it to Smart Taste egg noodles, which have a lot fewer calories, 1% milk instead of half and half. Light butter instead of regular butter, and I used not as much cheese, and I used 2% cheese to lower the calories. Okay. And I think it went from something like 2,000 calories for a serving that we would have normally had, which would have been like half a pot each.
Right. Well, and that's when you're cooking for two people, it just kind of happens that way. You go, okay, split it down the middle. You have half and I'll have half.
Exactly. I think I cut it down to like 800 calories for half a pot, so that's like 3.5 servings.
Okay.
So it really drastically cut the calories, and hopefully I get to try it soon and see if it tastes as good.
So easy to add an extra 300 calories here, an extra 200 calories there, and before you know it, you're high up there. Do you have any other tips for somebody getting involved in YouTube of, maybe how to make the most of it?
Just be yourself. I know a lot of people are worried about how they're going to come across in videos. It took me a few videos into it to actually find my rhythm and feel like I was being genuine and being myself and not trying to act for the camera a certain way. Right. And if people will just stay true to themselves, they'll find that the more genuine you are, the more people are going to like you. People don't want to watch people who are going to, constantly contradict themselves or try to manipulate other people. Right. So, stay away from people who are negative or try to manipulate you, and just stick with people who are going to be supportive. And do the same for other people.
So be positive and true. Just be genuine. I think that's kind of, I probably agree with that and what I've seen those who are successful on YouTube. Who have been your inspirations on YouTube?
One of my biggest inspirations is WW Brave New Girl, Julia.
Okay. I don't think I've ever heard of her.
She lost a good bit of weight, and she's a belly dancer as well.
Oh, wow.
And she, like me, gained her weight back, and same kind of situation. She got in a relationship where she was comfortable, and we call it happy fat.
Right.
But she always inspired me because she was always striving to do a little bit more than she had to, and she was always very friendly to everybody and very supportive, and always supportive to me, and always enjoyed that about her.
Any last words of advice you want to share?
Be true to yourself. Don't try to do a fad diet or something that's going to get the weight off quickly, because you're just going to gain it back. Right. Treat this journey as if it's part of your life. And I know people say that all the time. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. But I don't think people really take it to heart. It really burns me up when I see people say, oh, all my friends, went out last night and I couldn't eat anything and I was miserable. It's life. Live it. Right. If it means, okay, you only lose 1 pound this week instead of 1.5 or 2, I think it's worth it to make those sacrifices, as long as you're not spiraling and down into some,
Right.
binge filled.
Go out and have
thing,
fun, but maybe not go to extremes. Just
Exactly.
have a drink or have a dessert, but maybe just make sure you don't, maybe don't finish it, or just have a few bites of somebody, something. I don't know. Enjoy life, but don't go to extremes, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Balance. Balance is very important.
Balance in life. Moderation. And awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Mandy. And I can see why everybody loves you.
Oh, thank you.
And it's really been, it's encouraging to know that you've stuck with it so long and that you continue to, find success. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day, and good luck.
Thank you. You too.
All right.